Yo, salute everyone. What's good? What's going on with you? Knicks Real Talk pregame preview. Knicks take the Bulls by the horns. New York Knicks versus Chicago Bulls at MSG 7:30. Knicks back at home on a back-to-back, man. They about to go at the MSG and get it popping, try to win 4 in a row. So we're going to get into all that and break it all down, man. But first and foremost, let me bring in my partner in crime, man. Shy Powers, what's good, my brother?
Salute to you, Divine. Salute to the chat. Let's get it.
Yeah, real talk, man. We in here, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Knicks Real Talk, man. We another day, man. We trying to get it popping. Gonna get breaking everything down, get into the the post game from last night, man. Yesterday, Knicks beat Detroit in Detroit 104-102. Close game. Alex Burks with the steal at the end of the game to seal the deal. We're gonna get into all that, man. Cause I know everybody got a lot of vibes about that game. Salute to the chat, first and foremost, and everybody where you streaming them from, man. But yeah, we went into Motor City and got gritty last night, man. It was gritty too, because wind up coming out of that thing with a 2-point win, a pretty good defensive game, which I thought it would be. Casey got the young boy playing pretty good basketball. I need at least scrap it, even though they're at the bottom of the barrel for standards wise, but they go hard though. Marvin Bagley was in his bag last night. Real talk, he was giving Julius the business last night. I was like, whoa. But we prevailed though. Quickly did his thing. RJ did his thing, man. Randall did his thing, 20 points. RJ 21, quickly 18, continuing his good performance. Shot Powers quickly just doing his thing, man. I'm really happy to see that young man continue to do what he's doing, man, because he really coming into the last part of the season, really handling this business for sure.
Yeah, great game from them last night. They really played a exciting game on a comeback. Great pick off by Burks at the end of the game to clinch the win. Everything looked pretty good last night. Uh, uh, you know, Randall played an okay game as well, but we'll get more into it about Randall.
Yeah, real talk, man. Yeah, man. It was a good game though. They came out of the gate firing, but in the second half, obviously the Detroit Pistons got back in the game, started picking up their defense. Sadiq Bey and them started hitting some shots here and there, and then we went kind of stagnant again. You know what I mean? I guess that's a difference of having Julius there and Julius not there. We went back into that stagnant game, man, and we just didn't have it. Didn't have it all the way. But other than that, though, I like what I seen from some of the guys, man. They were, even though Mitch didn't have a lot of points last night, the man had 5 blocks. He had 9 rebounds, 5 blocks. He was dominating on the defense, and he kept us in that game for sure. Fournier had 11 points. Again, he didn't really have too much going for him. So I'm gonna get into all the box scores and everything. But other than that, we won. That's the most important thing. We won the game.
Facts.
We win. Now we're gonna go for 4 in a row tonight against the Chicago Bulls. Should be a really good game at MSG tonight. You got Zach LaVine, you got them cats coming in there tonight, man. And I think they're gonna be fired up because they trying to get back on their winning way because they've been losing pretty crazy They won the last game, but prior to that, they were losing pretty bad. So now that they got LaVine back, you got DeRozan there, Vucevic, and all them guys. Lonzo Ball still out. But they got AU down there. He's playing good. So it's going to be interesting. They got Caruso back, all them guys back. So it's going to be a pretty interesting game tonight. It's going to be a fun game in the Madison Square Garden. I'm really looking forward to see what our guys are going to do. But like I said, I enjoyed the game, but I did enjoy the game. We enjoyed it because we won. But like I said, it just didn't feel the same to me. You know what I mean? Maybe like I said, we were used to the young guys getting some burn. The next thing you know, Obi Toppin goes back to his normal because Julius Randle took the minutes. I'm like, man, I didn't like seeing that, man. I really didn't. I thought Obi Toppin should have kept playing and got the minutes he did, man. And that was that. You know what I mean? He got 17 minutes, but man, I mean, I would love to see that man give 25, 30. But that's what happens when your star player come back. You know what I mean? Then you got to go back to what the status quo with Shop House. That's what happened last night. He ran with the starters, and then the starters played some good minutes at the end of the game. They kept us in there, battle a little bit, and kept us, in the game. So that was good to see. But I still didn't I didn't get the good vibe of that game, for some reason.
Yeah, I'm on the same page with you, Divine. The ball started going stagnant a little bit. It started going back into that a little isolation type style ball that they play when Julius is on the court. And it slowed the pace down a little bit. Thank goodness we got together at the end of the game and and won the game. As you said, I'm a little I was wanting to see a little bit more Obi out there a little bit to see what he could have did against that young team like that. But we did capture the win, so it's no need to cry over spilt milk.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, man. Let me get down into the box scores and everything. Break down the box score. What happened last night in that game? We get into that because I thought it was an interesting game for us, to be honest with you. But I think we did prevail, which was a good thing, and I was happy to see that we prevailed. So that was good. But for the box scores, man, like right quick, go over that. Julius Randle, 31 minutes last night. 7 for 18. He didn't shoot it that well. 2 for 5, 4 for 8 from the charity stripe. 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. He was minus 120 points. Mitchell Robinson, 29 minutes, 1 for 3, 2 for 2 for the foul. I was shocked. He knocked both of them down. 9 rebounds, 4 offense, 5 defense, 1 assist, 1 steal, 5 blocks, bro. He was holding down in that paint for us on that level. He had 4 points, minus 4. Alice Burks, 33 minutes. Alice Burks been playing some good ball for the Knicks lately, man. And we're gonna talk about that later on in the show. He had 4 for 6 from field goal, 3 for 5 from downtown. Only missed 1 shot from the charity stripe, 7 for 8, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, minus 3, but he had 18 points. Evan Fournier, 27 minutes, 4 for 12. He only had 4 assists, 2 rebounds, minus 1, 11 points. RJ, 36 minutes, 7 for 18. From the charity stripe, he did well again, 6 for 7, 9 rebounds, 1 assist. He was plus 1, 21 points. Other than that, Jericho Sims had a good game, 19 minutes, 8 rebounds. That young man was doing his thing down there. 1 steal, 1 block, plus 6, 2 points. Obi Toppin, 17 minutes. That's all he had. 4 for 6 though. 2 for 2. He had 1 rebound, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, plus 3, 10 points. Man, that good for him, man. I wish he could have played more. He probably would have had close to 20. And other than that, man, McBride didn't really get too much going on. He only played 17 minutes. Quickly again, 6 for 15, 4 for 9 from downtown, 2 for 2, 6 rebound, 3 assists, plus 9, man, 18 points. That young man been playing some good basketball for the New York Knicks, man. So I got to salute the brother on that, man. He been really getting it down, man. Salute to Manu quickly. But other than that, man, that's pretty much a tale of the tape right there. And obviously, what Chicago Bulls did, I'm not Chicago Bulls, the Detroit Pistons did. My man was running the muck a little bit. Salute once the Nick, always the Nick. Salute to you, my brother. Bagley was doing his thing, though. I got to give him his flowers, man. Bagley was putting it in last night, man. He made it tough on Julius Randle. So I don't even know if Julius Quad was hurt or not, but Julius Randle couldn't hold him. That young man was beasting last night, man. And that was kind of crazy. But over that was it was. We won the game. We move on to the next one. Now we got the Bulls tonight, man, at MSG. And we just go down there and get a popping shot, pal. It's gonna be a good game, fun game. Let's see Zach LaVine in the building. You see all these other guys, man. But I hope it be different in MSG tonight. You know what I mean? Maybe because we was in Detroit, bottom feed team. But like I said, it just didn't feel good. So hopefully we come out tonight with a better, with some more energy in the building. And we home for 3 games. We can make things happen, though.
Yeah. The overall. The outlook of the game, the guys really scored. IQ is doing what he has to do. Randall and RJ, they do what they have to do, and guys are just stepping up. Deuce had a off shooting game last night, but he played great defense. Mm-hmm. So we see what will come today. This is a different look team. This is not the team. This is not Detroit. This is one of the higher echelons in the Eastern Conference this year. So we have to play up to par with them tonight. They're less Lonzo Ball, but they're still a very effective team. I mean, they've been on a little loser streak, a couple of games down and stuff like that. And but this is not a team to sleep on, and we got to come out here and play some great defense on these players.
Yeah, facts. They definitely got a good offensive team, man. I mean, they got Vucevic down there, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine. Obviously, they got Kobe White. Like I said, they got a couple of guys down there can get it, man. And I think my man Patrick Williams might be back for them. I think so. He's the only. Yeah, matter of fact, Lonzo Ball the only one on the injury report for them. We get into that as well. But it should be an interesting game, man. I'm looking forward to this one. I just love to see the way we keep playing. I would love for it to close the season out strong and win these things, man. And just to come out 40 or 42 out of that to me, after all we've been through, that would be nice, man. I know the draft thing is an issue for a lot of people, but from what I was looking at, some of the players that we were thinking about, man, they still might be in our range. You know what I mean? So you never know. So we just got to keep grinding, keep scrapping, and just keep winning out. But I just wish it was more at the how would I say that the young guys was getting the burn. You know what I mean? I just know Julius them got to play. They get paid to play, and Fournier them get paid to play. But it's not like they I guess Ted's gonna do what he's gonna do till we think we out of it. Because I do think that I didn't want to see that last night. That game to give me too much of a feeling, man. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Nick always Nick. That's what I would love to see. The Knicks could roll out the season playing these young guys, man. We know what Julius Randle do. We know what Fournier do. We know what these guys do. But at the same time, I guess Tibbs he plays to win, and that's about But other to the detriment of the young guy, I guess that is what it is, man. But tonight it's going to be a kind of different animal. I think they got the competition going to be different. But I like what Detroit doing. I like the way they're going. I like the way where they're going. I like they get another good draft pick this year. Man, they about won another draft pick and a good couple of free agents. They in a couple of years they're going to be pretty impressive. So we just got to keep doing what we're doing as well. And that's the kind of game plan I want to follow. Shot powers like that and Memphis. Let RJ and all these guys grow together. Or just bringing a couple of pieces to add to that, and you'll be what Memphis is at. Mm-hmm. So, we'll see. I think we good to go though. But it's gonna be a fun game tonight for sure. Like I said, the Chicago Bulls, another rivalry from over the years back in the days. It's always fun playing them. You know what I mean? Back in the Jordan days, the Derrick Rose days. You know what I mean? It's always fun playing the Bulls. So now we just had to go in and get it again tonight. But we could win 4 in a row tonight, man. That'd be nice as well. Now I think we should be able to do that.
Yeah, the Detroit is a young, scrappy team, man, and 1 or 2 more moves for them, they're going to be a threat in the Eastern Conference. Mm-hmm. They're young. They starting to play together. They got some nice little pieces on the team, and 1 or 2 more players, and you can see them really elevating the standards from where they are this year. We just gotta, I myself hope that we can also build together, stay with the team that we got, keep a lot of the people that we have right now, especially the young guys, and and just build from where we at now. We keep about 8 or 9 players from this team right here, put another 4 or 5 players in the mix, and we should look totally different from what we did last year. I mean, from this year. And that's all we got to do, man. We just got to keep the core together, try to sign some of these players. Let's see what happens when Reddish comes back next year, how good he plays for the year, see if he can play consistent and consecutive games without any injuries or big injuries, and just go from there. That's what we got to do.
Yeah, real talk. Salute to my man Amal. Salute, Mr. Fuller. Salute. That's a good question. You know what? I guess it all depends, Amal, where I think they're going to go. If they're going to try to go and bring in some players that's going to help them get to another level, or they're going to pretty much deal with some of the rebuilding. I think if they kind of stick toward the rebuild a little bit per se, hypothetically, I think they should look to get a good draft pick in there and maybe bring it to the team. But if I think they're going to go out there and try to bring in another player to be with Julius Randle and RJ Barrett, then they might move it. I think it's in that range that we at. I'm looking at there's some pretty good players down there, man, that could be there. But I got a feeling that all depends what direction they go. Amal, if they look like they're going to try to deal with the youth thing, then I think they might keep the pick. But like I said, if they think they're going to go and try to put some players, a pick in a package and a couple of picks to get a star player, then I can see that as well. So that's really going to be interesting to see what they do with that, man. So that that would be my take on that. But
You ain't lying, D-Ross. It's a little it's a
stay
little
warm, brother. Yeah,
it's
man.
a little chilly out here.
I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. I really would love to see these young guys keep elevating their game, maturation coming along, man. Keep building, but like I said, just right now it's gonna have to take a little back seat because the other guys is back.
Yeah, the season is almost over. There's some things that they're gonna do this year. Me myself, I think the pick that we have, I'm assuming, it's what I think they would do. But I think if the pick is not a number 4 and above, I think it might be packaged in some type of trade. Or like you said, Divine, if they see a player and if they fall eighth, ninth, 10th, something like that. It might be a nice young player that they might, want to invest in. The bad thing about saying investing in that young player is we'll more than likely we'll still probably have Tibbs here next year. So with Tibbs being here, that young player may not get enough time as he needs to it needs to get out there and try to get his NBA game on. So
Mhm.
we'll see what it is. It's a whole lot of things this off season that is going to be talked about and people going to be moved. And are we going to keep Fournier? Are we going to move Julius? Are we going to keep Burks? Are we going to keep D Rose? So these are things that we'll probably be talking about, and I'm pretty sure that the Knicks front offices talk about it as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It is gonna be that. I think that's really good, really what it's gonna depend on. But unfortunately, the draft comes before free agency and all that
Right.
because I wish it was the other way around. That way, because like the Kimber Walker, Nerlens Noel, these guys, all these guys, depending on what's if they're gonna be able to free up roster spots for them in the trade, they're gonna be able to move them guys to get a better draft pick in the trade. You never know because that's why I don't think the Knicks is literally out of this thing because with a lot of that expiring money, you never know what a team might offer the Knicks. You know what I mean? They might offer the Knicks a pick that helps them. The Knicks might say, well, with that pick they've given us and the pick that we got, we could package them picks together and get a go up higher if that's what we need to do. But I do think, like Amal said, this process is pretty much speeded up after that fourth seed last year. And look at the way we playing since the All Star break. We've been playing good, but since the All Star break, we haven't won a lot of games, but we've been playing good. So I think if the Knicks go out on a high note, they might say, you know what, hey, we a couple of players away from really, really making some noise. You know what I mean? I think that's what they might be on, Shot Powell. I think if they close the season out good, knowing they got all that young energy down here, knowing they got a chance of going here to grab somebody that might be willing to get up out of what the situation that they're in, whether it's out there in Utah, whether it's out here or there, whatever. So I think they're looking at that as well. But I think that Jalen Brunson thing is really, I think that really is a really possibility from the stuff that I've been reading. He might want to be here, like he might want to be here, you know what I mean? So not might want to be here. He say, so we come here, it's going to be another different scenario. So we got to see, man. It's going to be a lot of moving and shaking, I guess, but I think other than Alex Burks, I don't have a problem with Alex Burks coming back as long as he's not starting point guard. You know what I mean? If he come back off the bench, and give us that scoring off the bench like he was doing for us, prior to the starting at the point guard in last year, then I think he's an asset for $10 million on an aspiring deal. So you might hold on to him, but Kimber Walker and Nerlens Noel and everybody else can, whoever you might can get up out of here can go. But it's going to be interesting though. It's going to be real interesting to see how they work this thing out. But right now, as far as what's ahead of us, we got the Chicago Bulls tonight. Um, yeah, no doubt, man. That's absolutely right. Con, man, salute to my man 19 Con. We'll talk. They trade that picks for Knox. Yeah. So that's another thing I don't, I can't see them just if you let Cam Reddish go and you gave away a first round pick for nothing, that'd be a F move for me. You brought in Cam Reddish, you gave up a 21 first round pick and the 21st pick or whatever it is, and you don't keep Cam Reddish and you lose him and you threw away a pick for half a season, not even half a season because he's been injured. So let's hope that they do something with Cam Reddish or whatever they do, they got to get something in return to make up to justify getting rid of him. If they get rid of him, which I don't want them to, then I think Cam Reddish is the real deal. And I think hopefully he being here in New York, but I think the Knicks got to also answer that question. But why did you should have just kept Knox and let it expire? If that was the case, if you're going to wind up giving up a first round pick for it, that you're right, man. That will be malpractice. But I do think they're going to do something with Cam Reddish. I don't know. I'm hoping that they sign him and Child Powers and let him be a part of this thing because I think he fits this young nucleus pretty well.
I believe he'll. I think that the Knicks will probably hold on to Cam Reddish to the end of next season.
Mm-hmm.
He's on a expiring contract. They'll see how he plays this next year coming up, and what he could do if he can stay healthy. If he can, he'll probably be depending on how to make the lineup or if they move anybody or something like that. He'll probably be coming off the bench and see if he can if he can play a full season first, or pretty much a full season. And if he could be effective scoring and rebounding and assists, if he could gel with the team and stuff like that, I think that'll be the plan with him. Um, I mean, I want him to be here, but I wouldn't be opposed if his name comes up in the trade. If we're going out big fish hunting, we're going out and we're looking to go push for Donovan Mitchell, if we're talking about putting him in the trade to go out and get SGA, or if we're putting him in the trade to go out to get DeAndre Murray, if him and another player plus some picks, if that's the move that they're going to make, I'm fine with that. But I don't think they're just going to let him go for just a run of a muck player if they let him go. So I think he'll be here for the long haul, at least for next year, and to see where he's at. And at the end of that year, I think they'll probably try to make an offer for him. He probably have a couple of suitors also out there looking at him, and especially if he plays big time. If he goes out next year and he's coming off the bench, he's paying 20, 22 minutes. He's averaging 17, 18 points off the bench and stuff like that. I don't think he'll go anywhere. So that's another thing that we have to look for in the off season, to see if he can get back healthy and come in here and gel with RJ Barrett, and to see him really gel with RJ Barrett, we might also have to look and see if we're going to move on from Fournier. One of these guys, I'm not sure if both of these guys are going to be here next year. I don't know if Fournier is going to be here, or if Randall's going to be here. I think one of those two big contracts may be moved in the off season, and then we can try to figure out how we're going to build. The Knicks will probably try to figure out how they're going to build a lineup and what they need to get in this offseason.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of them contracts got to go because, like I said, right now, to me, see, everybody was hyped about Fournier shooting. Look at his last two games.
Facts.
He ain't been. That's why I say, it ain't only about the shooting. I just don't think that is to me, worth 19 million just to play one side of the ball and occasionally play defense. But I meant, I think we can get a younger, like I said, that money can go to Cam Reddish and RJ, it can go to, Mitchell. We can go. I just think you got to get at least get 50 million off the books next year, some way. And I think Fournier's 20 million, actually 19 million next year. And that I think that would be one of the starts for me, because like I said, if you look at where they at payroll wise, you look at where they at payroll wise. Excuse me, let me get that chat off there, and then you can see why Fournier is not working to me. Look, Shaw Powers, Evan Fournier got next year 19 million, and next year after that 19 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's almost $20 million. For that. I just think that, and then you got the Derrick Rose 15 million expiring that in 2023. So next year he got 14. So between them two alone, that's pretty much 33 million, two players.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Burks 43 million. Noel, let's just say 53 million.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Walker 63 million. I mean, man, you move them four players right there. That's $63 million. You could get this team in a good direction. Remember I was saying the other day, Mitchell Robinson, Cam Reddish, and RJ alone to eat that up right there, and then you're good.
Facts.
And then you can, depending on who you work out some in a trade or whatever. You got Quickly doing what he's doing, and he got a good contract. You can't trade Quickly; he only making $2 million. You know what I mean? So but Todd Gibson is the gear of the book, whether he go to the front office or not, whatever. But not the front office, but coaching and everything. So Grimes locked in for a good salary, $2 million almost. Mm-hmm. He locked in good with a good salary. McBride got a decent salary. So but these top four to me is, you can get Fournier, Derrick Rose, Alex Burks might come back, but even Kemba Walker, and that's $53 million. I just think that you could do a lot of stuff with that. You know what I mean? So we got to see what the Knicks going to do. It's going to be a very interesting offseason if they can get him up out of there. And I wouldn't have a problem with that. Flip Randall and Burks plus two picks for Zion. I ain't got no problem with that neither, my brother. Real talk. I think that's a good look right there as well. But they're in a good place, so we'll see how it goes. Absolutely. I don't know if you mean trade even or Evan, but I thought Evan need to be out of here, Laker fan for life. I just think that me, that's not worth it. I don't care. You think about the way he started the season. Now he caught fire a little bit. Now he right back. He now 2 games in a row. He just been average, below average. So to me, it's not worth it, man. It really isn't. I don't care how many 3-pointers he can knock down, man. Jalen Duren, 6'11" with a 7'5" wingspan. Let me see what Jalen Duren, what they got him projected to go in the top talent. They got him projected in this one at wow, I don't even see him up here yet. But yeah, Shot Pilot, I think we move on for Evan Fournier though. I don't think we need to deal with that.
I think that is the contract that we move on from. I think Randall's going to be here, but I think we can. And on top of moving on from him, his stock is high right now. He's shooting well. He's playing good ball. You put him on a team like the Mavericks or something like that, he'll really to play with Luka, he'll really ball out over there. He needs a team that that runs a shooting offense from him, like a European style team, if that makes any sense, like a San Antonio, like the Mavericks, like Utah. Those teams, I believe, would fit him a little better because they're more of a drive to the hole, kick it out where he can shoot. And with the way Randall plays the ball, he does some of those things, and he sets pretty decent picks. But they never set the pick hard enough where he could come off and off the roll and catch and shoot. So I think Fournier is the odd man out. Aside from like we all say, Noel, I think is not going to be here next year. I don't know about Burks. I like Burks. I think if they do keep one of the guys that we talk about, I think it may be like someone like a Burks, a veteran that's been there. He's been with the team the last couple of years. So I'm not sure about Burks. I don't know about D Rose. They may want to move off of that 15 million from D Rose. They definitely got to get off of that contract with Kemba. So it's a whole lot of things that we can sit and talk about because there's going to be some things that is going to happen, and I just can't wait to see what it is.
Yeah. What's interesting to me, and here's why. Let's do this deal with the Fournier thing for 1 second. In the game last night, this is in the last couple of games. Fournier hit a 3, right? Now, soon he came down court, guess what happened? Somebody shot a 3 on him.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the problem with Fournier. He make a 3, but he giving up a bunch of them. And I just don't think $19 million, to me, if you can't get a two-way player, I ain't spending $19 million on somebody just because they can shoot a 3. And I mean, he gets to the hole. He got a good float game. I get all that. I'm not hating on Evan Fournier. But I think if the Knicks are going to have to retain RJ, if you want them to bring in Cam Reddish, if you want them to sign Mitch, we're going to have to move some money. And I wish you can give him and Julius Randle contract off the books. But unfortunately, if you just sign Julius Randle to an extension, I don't have a problem with Fournier come back or not. But I do think that we're going to be in a quagmire when it comes to who we can sign, what we could do, because like I said, you want to by October 22nd, you got to extend RJ if you're going to extend him, or he's going to be a restricted free agent, I guess. So you're going to have to deal with that situation. But then you're going to lose Mitchell Robinson if you don't get that money. So even if Noel and Kemba money is Mitchell Robinson's, you're going to have to move Derrick Rose. You're going to have to really just finagle some money to get these guys up in here, man. But anyway, I'm good. But no matter what the Knicks do, long they do the right thing by the organization, and that's the hardest thing for me with him, man. Yeah, you're right. You're right. 100%. 19 Con. He played the passing lane good. He does. He really gets in the passing lane. But how often do you get in the passing lane opposed to how much you got to defend the person one-on-one? Or every now and then he get in the passing lane, but he got to guard his man every play down the court. And I just think that his defense is turnstile, man. And you notice that every time he in the game is turnstile.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm with you, and I agree with you, Mel Fuller as well. You might got to give up assets to move them guys. But let's hypothetically, very quick, and I'll let you jump in. Let's say if the Donovan Mitchell thing is available, that's a clear driving lane for Evan Fournier to go out there with Rudy Gobert. You know what I mean? Both Frenchmen, both got rapport because they played on the French national team all them years. They can use a knockdown shooter like that, especially if they don't sign Bogdanovich back. and all that stuff. And, so let's say a Randall and a Fournier go out there with Donovan Mitchell. I'm going to go for Donovan Mitchell. I think that in a couple of some picks, I think you make that move. Donovan Mitchell make about 30 something. So Randall got 23 next year. Fournier got 19. That's 40 something $1 million. And if you got to bring back a player with Donovan Mitchell and then give up some picks, you might have to do it.
Yeah, the people that we're talking about is 6 of them, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's Burks, Kemba, Evan, Noel, D Rose, and Taj. Those are the bigger number contracts out there, aside from Taj, but the bigger number of contracts. If we could try to, facilitate those players right there, it'll probably bring us back around $70 million. We come off Noah's money this year, so that's another $6 million. And they also gathered another $1 million here and there from the Lakers deal and the deal for Reddish. So if they could get off of those players, they'll have around 74 to $78 million, somewhere in that price range.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So they would have to actually look and see who that from those guys who they would want to move. If they're gonna keep Burks, I think the only out of those 6 names, I think the only person that may have a chance of possibly coming back will probably be Burks. I think I'm 99% sure, 99.9% sure they're gonna try to move on from Kemba. I'm 99.9% sure that they're gonna move on for Noel. I'm about 75 to 80% that they're gonna try to move from Rose. If they can find a suitor for Rose, I think if he wants to go back and play his last couple of years at the Bulls, I think they'll try to make that happen for him. And the one that I'm not 100% sure, but I think I'm about 50-50, but I think Evan would be the one that the big contract that we can move on from. So, with that being said, if we move all those contracts instead of Evan Fournier, we'll still have about $50 million. About 51 million dollars plus the 8 million, so we have about almost $60 million. About 58, $60 million around there, something like that, if my math is correct.
Yeah, because Fournier, that, like I said, 19 million next year, then 19.9 the next year after that. I just think that you could put, because like I said, you take that 19 million, put 10 million with it, you almost got a max player.
Yeah, 30 million.
Somebody who can really get down. I mean, literally can really get down on both. Got dog both ends of the ball. Who can really do what he's doing, man. But you also can. I think you can get Evan Fournier's production. Excuse me. I think you can get Evan Fournier's production easy, and for what he do. That's my opinion. I think the Knicks should be a defensive-minded team first, and I think Quentin Grimes makes Evan Fournier contract out of here. Quentin Grimes to me puts Evan Fournier on the trading block. I think Quentin Grimes would do what Evan Fournier do, and way better defensively. And he on a $2 million deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I just think that's ludicrous to get that man that 19 million and got Quentin Grimes sitting there. If you put Quentin Grimes to get Quentin Grimes Fournier's minutes, he would be more productive for the Knicks because of his defense. You know what I mean? He could score, he could knock down threes with the best, but his defense was going to carry him that what Evan Fournier can't do. And I just think that if you can move Evan Fournier contract, because like I said, I watched that game yesterday, Shot Powers, and him and Randall just changed the whole vibe of that game.
Changed the whole
vibe. I'm like, Randall came in there last night. I'm like, man, that thing didn't feel like the last couple of games. You know what I mean? Where the young guy was balling out, going hard. And it just seemed like the stagnation started coming into play, move around, throwing a pick behind him, back him pulling up for three. I'm like, man, that just didn't feel good to me because I think we got spoiled with the way they were playing without him. You know what I mean? So that's a really, really big interesting thing they got to go through in New York in the off season, what they're going to do with these guys. Because I seen the whole different team yesterday to me. I really did, man. The energy level that the Detroit got back in it because it's here, prime example. The reason why Detroit got back in that game, because Evan Fournier and Julius Randle played no defense. They let Marvin Bagley, and then what happened was my man started running them up, Sadiq Bey, and a guard started running them up. I just think that I got D. Ross say ride with him 1 year. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. I'm good either way. I'm not. I just think that it depending on what they do. I think sometimes you got to strike while the iron hot because you keep him 1 year. Let's say that next year something happened to Evan Fournier get hurt or his production level goes down. He ain't the same Evan Fournier. I think you're kind of taking a gamble on if you can strike a deal to bring a better player in. You got even if they said let's do Evan Fournier for Jalen Brunson, you got to do that. You know what I mean? They both gonna be making the same money.
Facts.
Like let's say
I would do that in a heartbeat.
right, let's say if the Dallas Mavericks say instead of losing Jalen Brunson, we'll sign and trade with the Knicks. Can you imagine Evan Fournier in Dallas with Luka Doncic?
That's what I
You know what I
said.
mean? I think we both teams win. We get a point guard who's been playing his butt off lately. He was killing it last night, and they get a shooter they can put around Luka. But not only that, he's going to the West Coast. He's not in the East Coast. I would take that Jalen Brunson for because you Fournier got $50 million guaranteed, $57 million guaranteed after this year. So it's better just to get just get Jalen Brunson. Then you solve that situation. But it was a depressing laugh aloud. It was, man. I didn't like the way that flow of that game was at all last night, man. It didn't feel good to me yesterday afternoon. It just didn't feel good. So I think that had a lot to do with the way they came in. Like I said, that game they started turnover. I mean, the turnovers were there. Just the pace was different. No more pace. Obi had to sit because Julius was there. So and that's what he's been going through the whole year. I mean, enough is enough, man. I don't know, but let's hope that I'm whatever the Knicks do, I'm going to stand. I'm a Knicker to the day I die, man. So I'm going to support the team no matter what they do. But me, somebody who's been watching Knick basketball since the '70s, I just think that we got to get back to having guys who can play defense. And I just think that you can't spend $19 million on somebody who's on one side of the ball is pretty good, on the other side he below average. I just don't think that makes sense to me. So we had to see how that go. But that's good talk. We always like to talk about what's moving forward, what's moving ahead, because we do got some lot interesting dilemmas coming up in the all season. We got the draft coming up. What we're gonna do there? Are we gonna try to move people? What we're gonna do there? Who's gonna stay? Who's gonna go? Because after watching these last 3 games, Knicks got to do some make some very tough decisions. Because I think these young guys is playing basketball for New York Knicks better than anybody played all year long. This was the best I've seen in the whole year, Shop. Other than the first game of the season, these last 3 games have been pretty impressive for sure.
Yeah, they I mean, aside of what we've been this year's just been one of those years, a real New York Knicks year. And we had some highs, we had some lows, we had some mediums, and right now, I feel like I'm on a high. I feel like I see the team, the younger team coming out. They're moving the ball, they're pushing the ball with some pace. They're high. They're giving people the ball where they can score. They're getting high assists. The young guy Sims is jumping out the roof, just grabbing rebounds from out of nowhere. You see sporadic times like the last game before last. You see when the guys play together, they want to win together. And here you come with Deuce coming out there with some big shots, Grimes coming out there with some big shots, RJ coming out with some big shots. So we got some the planning for this off season is going to be something that I'm going to do my homework on. As I start coming on with you, Divine, I've never. I mean, I always paid attention to the team. I'm not no big statistician or nothing like that. But to come on here and give you truthful things and factual things, I go to do some homework. And this off season, I'm gonna get me a laptop. I mean, I'm gonna pull out my old laptop, I'm pull out my tablet, I'm pull out all these things and stream these different things and go different things, because as much as we watch these Knicks, I want us to also know what other options there is. Like, we sit here and we just ran through 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different options, and all these things that we say are feasible and possible. But I'm pretty sure the Knicks already then went through this stuff. I know that they see what's happening right here, and who knows what's going to happen July 1st. Who
Mm-hmm.
knows?
Yeah. You know what? You never know. They might run back the whole thing.
Right.
Might run the whole thing back.
That's one of the things I think, because with the at the rate that they're at right now, I think they're at like 18.9 or 119 million.
Yep,
I
119.
think 119. So I think next year it goes up to 150. So if it goes up to 150 with them already being at 119, that still means that we have about 30 million bucks in the bag, and that makes another difference too. We have a first round pick that's going to possibly be in the top 10. We got 2 second round picks that are, I don't know where they're going to be ranked at, how high they're going to be, and stuff like that. Plus all our picks that go on from 23, 24, 25. We got our first round pick for the next, how many years we got, which I've never seen in such a long time. Usually by this time we're scrambling to get second round picks. This time the Knicks. A lot of people talk about how the Knicks didn't do this. They didn't draft. I believe that the Knicks did real good. Can you sit back and really say that a 20 something pick that we got out of from the draft last year, a 30 something pick and a 58 pick that they got last year, the picks that I'm talking about is Sims, Grimes, and Deuce. Those guys that they picked up were big for us coming up in these next couple of years and stuff like that. So I with this front office, I believe more into them than in prior years. Just selling the whole, giving everybody up, giving all our young youth up, giving up all our draft picks, and then we have to wait 4 or 5 years before we can be whole again. This year, I believe we'll have a better front. I mean, our front office is going to be better, so I think they'll do better things, man. That Brock Eiler guy, man, he sounds like a genius to me, man. He's done some great things since I mean, you know, Grimes. Remember these names, man. Grimes, IQ, Grimes. I mean, all these. I'm not sure. Yeah, IQ, Grimes, Deuce, and Jericho Sims.
Yeah, yep, yeah. Let me just make this one. The salary cap going up to 121 next year.
Oh, 121.
121, and they and the luxury tax threshold is 136.
All right.
Yeah, it stands at 112 now. So and we'll be like it'll be 2 more million than what we have now, but we over the cap threshold because it said the current cap stands at 1.12 million. So that's what I mean. When we kind of like 7 million over the tax already. That's why we got to do some wheeling dealing. That's why I do think that some of these guys they're gonna have to get them off the books to make these moves, man. But I
When
don't.
when does the TV contract come in there? Is that 23, 24?
I probably is because it's definitely showing
Oh,
next year. Next year they're showing definitely 121
okay.
for the right now projected. The tax threshold is up at 140. My man Chip Lover, Chip, what up, my brother? Salute, Chip. Chip in the
Yes, sir.
building. Salute, Chip. But you know what's interesting to me, and like I said, running the back might not be a bad idea, D-Rob. I just think that you just got to move out Kimber Walker, Kimber Walker, at least Kimber Walker, Nerlens
Well,
Noel. Nerlens
mm-hmm.
Noel, Kimber Walker, you definitely got to get them two out there because, like I said, God, they was about to trade Alex Burks at the trading deadline this year, but he's not guaranteed to come back because they was trading him and Cam Reddish. You know what I mean? The deal fell apart because the Knicks wanted more picks. And I think what they were trying to do was get that Cam Reddish pick back they gave the Atlanta for Knox. You know what I mean? So they probably was trying to recoup that pick. And I think the Lakers and Toronto didn't want to go there. So like I say, Alex Burks ain't even guaranteed to be back next year, to be honest with you.
Facts.
So it's going to be really interesting to see, man. We'll stay in the mix and everything like that. But like for the game tonight, we know we got the Chicago Bulls at the world most famous arena. Let me get into the start lineups and everything. We get back into some talk. Starting for the Knicks tonight, same lineup: Alex Burks, Evan Fournier, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. For the Chicago Bulls, Ayo Adasamumo, shooting guard Alex Caruso, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Jokic. I think if DeMar DeRozan playing power forward, Julius Randle better have 35 tonight. Real talk. I mean, he's not that type of defender. He's not a defender. If DeMar DeRozan, your power forward, and Julius Randle don't drop 30 tonight, I'm gonna be disappointed. You know what I mean? The matchup of LaVine and R.J. Barrett. That's gonna be the matchup to watch. But DeMar DeRozan is not no 230 pound dude could do that. He never been a good defender on that level. So Julius Randle better get it popping tonight. On the injury front, Quentin Grimes day-to-day, knee recovery, nerves are well, foot out. Derrick Rose, obviously, Cam Reddish shoulder out for the regular season. Kemba Walker, he's just not with the Knicks no more, for us playing for them guys there. Only one out for them is Lonzo Ball. They healthy. They're the only player they missing is Lonzo Ball. So, they should be fully stacked tonight, going into that game tonight, man. And we'll see what take. And D. Ross said, a star here, a star there, the next 2 or 3 years, and that's all we need. Yeah, facts. I agree with you. I think that could happen too. But it's gonna be funny, with that game right there tonight. My matchup is R.J. Barrett and Zach LaVine all day. I want to see R.J. That's a good litmus test for him to go up against Zach LaVine. Like I said, I think Randall get it. Caruso going to give Evan Fournier some problems. I'm letting you know that right now. Caruso is a good defender. He's a very good defender. So we're going to see how Evan popped tonight. Remember Evan last 2 games, guys, 11 points and 10 points, 2 games in a row, 10 and 11. So let's see what he's going to do tonight. You know what I mean? Obviously, Alex Burks and the young guy, that should be interesting. Yeah, we with you, Chip, man. Real talk, man. That's what I was hoping. Let them young guys finish the season. But I guess put it like this here: if Atlanta win tonight, then I think it's pretty much a wrap. You know what I mean? Because no matter how much we win, they only got to lose. They got to lose 7 games for us to even get up in that thing. From a mathematical standpoint. So, but they got a tough schedule. They like it can't happen, but I don't think it will. So they got a couple of easy games there as well. But hopefully they can lose tonight, and that at least keep us in there if we win. But I think it's gonna be interesting. I think Vucevic and he got that outside shot. Mitchell Robinson, in the paint, he can't do nothing with Mitchell Robinson down there, but he can stretch the floor pretty good. But now Mitch is more healthier now. Early in the year, Shaw Powell, he wasn't healthy when Vucevic did that the last time. We beat Chicago a couple of times this year, if I'm not mistaken. So it ain't like we don't got their number. If Mitchell Robinson can hold it down in the middle, Julius Randle can at least go a mano with DeMar DeRozan, because DeMar DeRozan can get buckets. But his defense is suspect.
I just want to say this too about Mitchell Robinson. Like Mitch really doesn't grab a lot of defensive rebounds, which is true. But on the same sword, Mitchell Robinson is always playing the center or gets switched off. He's always at the 3-point line. You very rarely see on defense Mitchell Robinson really being down low, because his man is majority around the up top around the 3-point line. So I say I watched a little bit. Mitch grabbed some defensive rebounds, but the reason why he doesn't grab as many as I think he could is because his man is not a post up style player. None of the centers these days are really quote unquote down low like a Patrick Ewing or something like that, Alonzo Mourning or stuff like that. They don't play that game too much anymore. These guys are more along the 3-point line. So Mitch is not down there as much to grab defensive rebounds. Now you put Mitch down on offense. Mitch is a juggernaut down there on the offensive boards. He grabs a lot of boards down on the offensive end. So the reason why I believe he doesn't grab as many defensive rebounds is because the man that he chooses to play defense on is majority of time is at the 3-point line. Now when he drops down to play some defense and stuff like that, he may not grab that defensive rebound. But he surely showed this whole year that he will block your shot he makes players hesitant coming down the hole, thinking that they're going to try to go and lay the ball up. They're a little bit more lax to want to go up against Julius Randle, especially if it's more of a one-on-one style of thing.
Yeah. Hey, Cash, I just made a good point. He said most of the time Mitch blocks out and Julius Randle always steals the rebound.
Exactly. That's the other thing that we have to say.
Yeah, you know what else is interesting too? Like you said, it's not no more post basketball, not a post present game anymore. Stretch ball now. A lot of the guys stretching out there shooting free throw. The whole league is like that. That's why I said everybody turned into shooters now. Very seldom you get them guys who really get down in the post and get it. But that's what I like about. That's why to me, star power Mitch is that important. Because like what he did to Durant. When Durant pulled up for that J, Mitchell Roberts can go out to the 3-point line and block Joker's shots because he's 7 foot athletic. And I mean, this kid is to me is amazing, man. I like what that cat do. I mean, I'm hoping we can find a way to get him back. I hope he want to be here.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
I hear what you're saying, Mayforth. You're right. Sims did grab 7 defensive rebounds. Also, Mitch grabbed 4 or 5 last game. But the one thing that Sims didn't do was block 5 shots. The defense plays a little different when Mitch is down there. And on top of that, when Mitch is down there, you see that when the ball goes up on defense, he has a body on his man. Julius Randle was the one who cleans the boards up. So I understand what you mean by why he's offensively he grabs crazy rebounds. He's more offensive rebounding type of guy than a defensive type of guy. But it's not like he doesn't grab defensive rebounds.
Oh yeah,
He
does.
he definitely he's not as high as another reason that Sims, I believe, why he grabs so many defensive rebounds because he jumps higher than Randall. He jumps higher than the majority of the guys that's down on the court. So he really and plus they're two different style of players. If you see Sims when Sims plays the 3-point when he comes out to play the 3-point game defense against the big man when they're at the 3-point line, Sims gets a little jumbled up a little bit. His positioning and his foot speed is good, but he doesn't know how to move along with the player. So if you notice a lot of times when Sims is playing defense, his man will shoot a jump shot instead of driving it to the hole. When you don't see too many guys trying to make a move on Mitchell Robinson at the top of the key, trying to drive to the hole and try to dunk on Mitch.
Yeah, real talk. Hey, I'm with you, Cash Out. If Julius Randle don't drop 30 on DeRozan tonight, I would be very upset. That should be a mismatch when it comes to bully ball. If he be settling for jump shots or not, when all you got to do is take DeMar DeRozan back down in the paint and just go over that dude. Unless Patrick Williams wind up playing piece of the guard, salute the law, peace.
Peace.
If you don't do that, but something to keep in mind too, though, the Mitchell Robinson and you want both of them. That's why I said the starting and backup centers in New York next year. Mitchell Robinson should be the starting center. Jericho Center should be coming off the bench behind Mitchell Robinson this year. That's why Nerlens Noel should be expendable. You know what I mean? You keep Mitchell Robinson. Here's why this would make Mitchell Robinson more important to me in the NBA. We in the jump shooting league, right? That's what our league is about. What happens when the jump shots is not falling? That's why Mitchell Robinson offensive rebound game is so important to the Knicks. Let's say if Fournier, RJ, them shots is not dropping, at least when one thing you know that Mitchell Robinson can get you a possession back. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't do that good like Mitchell Robinson. I mean, when shooting ain't always on. You know what I mean? And when you're shooting ain't on, you thank God you got somebody like Mitchell Robinson who, when you miss that shot, that young man can clean that board up for you and give you an extra possession. And when we got a team like ours who shoot jump shots, then granted, we go down a lot. We do get to the foul line a lot because we go downhill a lot. But nights when your jump shot not falling, you always want to have Mitchell Robinson. That's what makes him so important. I think people miss that aspect of the game. And even Jericho Sims, he had one of the biggest rebounds the other night against the game before Detroit, and when Grimes knocked that against Miami. Sims had got a huge rebound. He passed it out to Jericho Sims passed it out to Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes knocked down that 3 to tie that game up. So both, that offensive rebound is important, man, when your shooting ain't falling, man. So that's why I think if you keep Quentin Grimes and Mitchell Robinson at that center for New York for the next 4 years, I think you got a good problem on your hand in New York, man. I just think that's good to have, man. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Facts, Cash Out. Mitchell Robinson have a double tonight, easy. And I think Jericho Sims should have a good rebounding game tonight against these dudes. They don't have a lot of rim protection and big guy down here. Vucevic is a stretch shooter. You got post move, but he's not a great defender. I think the Knicks should go in there eat lunch on that front court tonight. Our front court should be dominant tonight against them. Vucevic will score with the best of them, but his defense him and Evan Fournier in Orlando, they were suspect on the defense. You know what I mean? That's what made them who they were in Orlando. Only reason they were that good because they had Steve Clifford coaching them. But their defense wasn't good in Orlando. That's why they got rid of them dudes. You know what I mean? The defense wasn't there. But I think they eat tonight, though. I think them dudes eat tonight. I think Mitchell Robinson, I'm going to go out on a limb and say if Mitchell Robinson play his game, Mitchell Robinson walk out there tonight with probably 15 and 11. 15, 11, 3 or 4 blocks tonight, easy. They ain't got nobody can hold Mitchell Robinson down there. So that should be interesting to see tonight. I'm looking forward to that matchup. I'm looking forward to the whole day. Zach LaFina and RJ Barrett. I think that's going to be a very interesting matchup. I think Alex Burke, the rookie boy they got, he playing good ball though from same school. Derrick Rose, Ayo. But I think Alex Burke's experience can probably work that in. Like I said, Evan Fournier got his hand full with Caruso tonight. But I think Evan Fournier, he's been playing good ball lately. After the last 2 games, he kind of been off a little bit. But since the All-Star break, Evan Fournier has been killing it. You know, he's been killing it. So, but he got a task on his hand tonight with Alex Caruso. Shot power. Alex Caruso could DM up with the best of them. So, but I think I like our matchups. I like our matchups from 1 to 5. I really do. I think Julius Randle going if DeMar DeRozan get 30, Julius Randle can get 30. If Zach LaVine get 25, RJ Barrett can get 25. It ain't like it's a mismatch anywhere there. I think Evan Fournier outscored Caruso by a whole lot. But here's where it's going to be even. Caruso going to DM up. So it's going to make it almost even. You know what I mean? Caruso might not have the offense, but he got a defense. Evan Fournier might got the offense, but he don't got the defense. But to me, that's almost like a wash there. I just think Alex Burks got to Alex Burks got to dominate that point guard thing tonight. And if he could, I think we might be all right for sure.
Yeah, I'm the matchups down the line. We match up pretty well with this team, and we beat this team already this year as well. So it's going to be some things to watch tonight. See how people play, and like you said, Divide. If if Julius doesn't score 30 points tonight against what you call if he doesn't score if he doesn't score 30 points tonight, he got to come out. He got to come out really playing some really good ball tonight, man. And I think it could be because of him just coming back as well. Yeah, him just coming back. He's been out a couple of games and stuff like that. So I think he'll have a better outing tonight. I hope that he can stay more consistent and pass the ball without giving up a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, because we only shot 31% from 3 last night. Yesterday, 31%. We only shot 40% from the floor. That's how good they defense. I was telling everybody in the post game, them boys got a good defense, man. Dwayne Casey got them boys playing a good D down there. And I showed last night we only shot 40%, shot 79% from the charity strike. That was good. But tonight, I think we in a garden home, bright lights. Ain't nothing like playing on your own court. Good thing about it, man, we won 3 games on the road. We went on a road trip with 3-0. That was good to see right there. That we went on a road trip and won all 3 games, and we won against 2 quality teams in Charlotte and Miami, and then we beat a hungry team yesterday by 2. But so let's see how we do today against Chicago Bulls. We beat Chicago tonight, and Atlanta got the Indiana Pacers in Indiana. Granted, Indiana might be at the bottom of the barrel, but they still got a good team down there. I mean, a lot of talent anyway. So you never know that's not a guaranteed win for Atlanta tonight. But at the same time, Indiana could be saying, man, we trying to get a draft pick. You know what I mean? We trying to get a high draft pick. So they might not be looking to go out there and beat teams up. We don't know. They might be in real tank mode. You know what I mean? For sure. Yeah, absolutely. D-Rob, we are playing better than we are. We beat the Knicks. Been playing good ball since the All-Star break. A lot of wins just didn't capitalize. But we playing some good ball, man. So we finally get it together now. But I think we beat Chicago tonight, though. I don't see the Knicks having a letdown game. I got a feeling the Knicks might run. I think the Knicks might run the table. We got Brooklyn one time. We got Charlotte the next game. Charlotte been playing good basketball, man. I think they locked in. They beat the Nets. LaMelo went off on the Nets last night with Kyrie, first game back in New York. Dropped 33 and beat the Nets with Kyrie and Durant them last night in Brooklyn.
Yeah, so they're ninth seed now.
Yeah, I think they pretty much locked in. I think they locked in. So I think Atlanta the last hope. But no matter what, man, even if we don't get to be in the play-in, man, I wanted to kind of, if we're going to lose the game, I want us to lose them faster than later so we can let these young guys finish it out. That's what I'm hoping. If we need any time to be out of the play-in, We could keep winning. If Atlanta keep winning, I guess it really doesn't matter. It's minute to me. But I want to see these young guys do what they were doing. Because look at, you could see how much we missed Quentin Grimes last night. You know what I mean? We should have had Detroit blow it out last night. But what happened was, when you ain't got the defenders in there in that second half, them cats got back in the game because we wasn't defending. You got to have defenders in New York, man. That's what we do. And last night was a prime example. A young team like that with all that energy. See, that's what, hey, Shot Powers, real quick, that was the difference last night. Our young energy wasn't playing last night because we had the veterans in there almost the rest of the game. And that young energy they had caught up to our old energy. You know what I mean? Like, so Marlon Bagley, he made Julius Randle go for what he younger, faster, hungrier. My man Sadiq Bey, younger, faster, hungrier. Them cats was hungry, faster, quicker, and our veterans couldn't keep up with them. Thank God Alice Burks, but who kept up with them? Our young guy, Emmanuel quickly was getting buckets. Obi Toppin was doing this thing, but it took him out too much. Jericho Sims was doing this thing. That young Mitchell Robertson, them young guys was the one propelling us last night. But because they had the other guy didn't really have it last night to me. So hopefully tonight, man, I think Deuce McBride, like Cash said, I think Deuce McBride gonna break out tonight. I agree with him 100%. I think he can go in the guard and light it up tonight, man. He usually like that. If he have a good game, he'll bounce back, and I like that. I noticed that in Summer League about Deuce McBride. I mean, in Summer League, he had like a 6.63-point game one Summer League game. The next Summer League game, he didn't shoot well, but that next game he came out and dropped 5 or 7 of them in the Summer League. I'm like, that's what you like to see, a guy who's confident, don't waver because he had an off game. He just come back the next day and get it popping. And that's what I like about it. That's why I think I agree with Cash Out. I do think that McBride gonna have a decent game tonight for sure.
I'm hoping so. I've been waiting for him to have a real productive game. I want to see him come out there and have 17 points with 4 or 5 rebounds and 4 or 5 or 6 with his 1 turnover to his 5 or 6 assists. I want him to come out and electrify the guard. He looks like he's a dog. You can see when he's ready. He's gonna bulk up this summer, man. All these guys, man. I think everybody that you come back next year going to be a bodybuilder status, man. I think everybody's going to come back. They're going to be pumped and ready. They're going to be looking hungry. And the players that I'm looking to see come back next year is like to see if Obi can elevate his game a little bit. It's going to be some big things that come up this next coming years and stuff like that, because what's the outlook for Obi if he comes back next year and he hits 36% of his 3-pointers? He comes out and he's making low post moves down low and stuff like that. If he starts to drive the ball a little bit more and go into the hole like he used to do when he was in college, it's a couple of things that we need to really look out for this next coming year. So tonight's game, man, I just hope that we get out there and we run some pace and we play some ball tonight, man. We got to get out there and rebound the ball, push some pace, and move the ball, man. If we move the ball and we get to the open shooters, I think we're gonna have a really good game tonight.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head to me. The keys to the game, we got to move that ball. That's what I didn't like about yesterday.
That's
we went
true,
back to status quo. We went back to status quo yesterday. That shit got stagnant. I'm like, oh my God! After watching them cats run up and down the court in Charlotte and Miami, and then as soon as you get them Julius Randle and cats back, it just got stagnant. You know what I mean? I was like, man, and it felt kind of crazy to me.
Yeah,
yep.
That's facts, made for. I noticed that too, man. But Brian come out the game, Cade went crazy and stuff. So I mean, if we could just stay consistent today, man, I think hopefully McBride comes out, Deuce comes out today, and he gets a couple more minutes on the court. I hope Tibbs tries to change the rotations where he rolls out the rotations a little bit. But with that being said, Randall has to have a good game. If DeRozan is going to be the power forward tonight, there should be no reason that Julius shoots a 3-pointer all night. Everything should be down on the post to the hole. It shouldn't be too many jump shots that he shoot if DeRozan is holding tonight.
Yeah. Hey, I left Cash Out. He was a Cash Out. That's what's so crazy. He was very good in low post in college. Obi Toppin, his game is, man, his all around game is really special, man. And I'm hoping that he can achieve that, man. But like I said, is if he's gonna be stuck behind Randall next year, it's gonna be it's not a good look for him. It's not fair to him, man. So if Randall gonna be back next year, you might not see Obi Toppin. You might not see him. He might go in the package. I just don't think that that we that's gonna be what it is, man. I think they're gonna move on for him if Randall there. Because if Randall there gonna be there the next 4 or 5 years, ain't no need for Obi Toppin to play in New York.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna stay behind Randall for those years.
Yeah. And on the next show, Trick, we closing the panel today, man, because we about time to get up out of here in a minute. So we're gonna keep it simple. But you always welcome when we open it up. I'll let you know. But for me, man, that. And not because we don't want to hear. I want him to be able to play in the NBA. The kid got young babies to feed. He got talent, man. That's why I like that Julius Randle Fournier thing to me. That might be something interesting to look for the next season because I think Obi Toppin can really hold down a power forward spot in New York. I think he can. I really believe that. I think that he wasn't National Player of the Year for nothing. You see what the man can do when he get the minutes. You know what I mean? If Obi Toppin can average 15, 16 a game, and you get a point guard to get Julius Randle numbers, we ahead of the game.
Yep.
Ahead of the game. You know what I mean? And I just think that's what's so good about it is that, but you got to find a way to shake that up. But if we keep the team, this is the thing we all got to be concerned about next year. If the Knicks come back with the same team, we cannot complain about young boys' minutes. You know what I'm saying, Shaw Powers? If the Knicks come back with Alice Burks, they come back with Fournier, they come back with Randall, they come back with all these guys, we're gonna have the same dilemma next year. Why the young guys not getting no burn? That's why we got to move on for some of them guys. I don't have no problem with it. I think them cats are starting to I thought you starting to realize what they could do with them boys. I mean, so it's got to be really interesting to see what happens in the summer. If they will be willing to deal it. I mean, hey, make it happen.
And to throw the segue into what you were saying about Burks, Chad, how do you feel about Alec Burks coming back next year? Is Alec Burks good to come back for next year? Maybe coming off the bench, or do we try to get him out of here and salvage his $10 million? What do you guys think? For me, I'm on the fence with this one. If he comes back, he is one of the guys out of the 6 players that I think that they may think about keeping here. Aside from Kemba, Noel, um, uh, Evan Fournier, uh, D Rose. I think Burks may be the one guy that they do bring back to finish out his contract here. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think, Divine?
You know what? If they going to compete, then I'll bring him back. But he can't come back as the point guard.
No point guard. No, he's
He
coming
can
off the
come back
bench.
as like a shooting guard or a three off the bench.
Yeah,
I
off
don't
the
have a
bench.
problem with that. But I think we got to go in there and get what we need at that point guard spot. Now, Alex Burks been playing good, man. No pun intended. He's been playing good basketball. I don't think he's our answer at the point guard spot. But I do think that he could play that three position and two. I think I'm good with keeping Burks. MJ can get it when he's been playing good too lately. He's been
Yeah,
lighting it up. He's been lighting it up. Like the whole team been playing good since the All-Star break actually. But he been really the last couple of weeks. He really been playing though, man. Tim Smith, my brother Tim. Salute Tim. It's all good with you, man. I appreciate you coming in. Yeah, I think I would keep him too. I don't have a problem. Burks is that one I would keep. Noel Kimba. But like I said, we bring Derrick Rose back. If TNT, most likely Derrick Rose might come back. Burks come back. Um, it's just that they eating into these young boys' minutes, and then then we go through that same scenario when Ted's gonna have to want to play. And like, I can't see not playing Derrick Rose, and if you give him $14 million, I don't
facts.
even you can't even justify that. So. Yeah, I agree. He is, man. I can see him as a wing player, but if you keep him, Kimber Walker, Nerlens Noel, and you might have to move D Rose, bro.
Excuse me. I believe D Rose maybe maybe moved. I believe he may be moved because with D Rose here, we're gonna cut into minutes for Grimes. We're gonna cut into minutes for Deuce, And I think Rose has a bigger contract at 15 million dollars that he has.
Absolutely.
I think we can move on from him and pay somebody else to come in or add that to some type of I believe he'll probably go back to Chicago. I think that's where he probably, if he was to be moved, I think that's one of the places that he would probably, if he could ask for it to be moved somewhere, I think that's what would be somewhere that he would be moved to. I think Taj comes off the books next year. I think Taj is going to be he's going to be on the bench, but I don't think he's going to be in street clothes. I think he'll have a, a, a notepad. I forgot a, a
A Marcus
notebook in
Morris.
his hand.
Yeah, right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think
Shout out to that coach.
yeah, I think he's going to be. I think he'll come back and sign in for a coach. I think I think he'll have some stability. The guys like him there. He's a constant veteran, and I think he may come off the books and go into a coaching role. And he's from New York. He's from Brooklyn. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
So
He had
why, why
67 in the
you know what I
building.
mean? Why wouldn't he want to come? Why wouldn't he want to stay in New York and and MSG and he's right across the bridge in Fort Greene. You know what I mean? So I think I think if Taj comes back, he would be like someone like our 15th player. But I think Taj would be. I think he'll probably come back as a coach more than a player.
Yeah, Todd's definitely coming back. Here's why. Um, would he have help with remember last year when he first got here? That's when Mitchell Robinson and Nerlens Noel's season turned around. When the Knicks had picked up Todd Gibson in free agency last year, that's when Mitchell Robinson and Todd Gibson turned around and did a 180. Along with Kenny Payne. I mean, you can't to me, Todd Gibson is our Udonis Haslam from Miami. You just got to wind up in the Knicks organization moving forward. He's going to be a good coach, a good assistant coach somewhere. He know basketball, man. And one thing about it, you got to have great minds around you. You know what I mean? If you don't got great minds around you, then it really don't mean nothing. And I think Taj is the ultimate professional. Ultimate professional. You know what I mean? For what he getting $5 million, $4 million next year, yeah, let him bring him back. And they ain't gonna kill us. You know what I mean? But I do think the Nerlens Noel, then because he didn't play all year, that to me, I'll move that. I think Nerlens Noel and Timberwolves out. For real.
Yeah, for me, cash out. If you were asking the question about Brunson or Deuce, I'm not. If we don't get for me, I believe if we don't get a big time point guards per se, Brogdon, if we don't get maybe a SGA or Murray or Mitchell or something like that, I think I'm not 100% sure, but this is why I think. I think they're gonna move IQ into the starting position. I think IQ will be the starting point guard next year. You know, that's what I believe. I believe if we don't go out and get a big time point guard, I think IQ will probably be our point guard for next year.
Yeah, for me, real tough for me. That's the reason why I said Fournier out of here. Well, I'm gonna tell you why. You could have Brunson and Deuce McBride as his backup.
Right.
You could have Grimes and Quickly at the 2 spot in New York. That's legit. You know what I mean? You start Brunson, let McBride back him up. You start Grimes and let Quickly back him up. You got 2 defenders. You got the defenders there. And then you can still keep RJ at the 3. Maybe if you bring Cam Reddish back, Cam Reddish comes in off the bench for RJ. You know what I mean? And if Julius still there, then obviously the limit is Obi Toppin. But let's say, I just think that if you really want to make the Knicks a solid team next year, move them expensive contracts and let them young boys. I think they that good. I think Quentin Grimes is that good to defend any 2 guard in the NBA. Period. Hands down, he could defend anybody in the NBA, and he's a sharpshooter. Like I said, I think he's going to win a 3-point shooting contest one year. That boy, he that legit. So I think that's the only reason I say you make Fournier expendable. If you bring in Jalen Brunson and Deuce McBride coming off the bench for him, that's nice because they both could defend the ball. You know what I mean? And I think Quickly defend decent enough to add the 2 guard spot behind Grimes or whoever beat each other out per se. And I think that's your 4 right there. Them your 4 guys you go in there next year. Brunson, McBride, Quickly or Grimes behind 1 and 2. The 2, them 2 at the 2 guard spot in New York. I think you got. I mean, and all four of them can shoot the ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think so too, man. Hey, you know what? That's why I keep saying cash out. You got to move somebody though, because if you don't move Fournier, Cam Reddish ain't gonna get the opportunity.
right.
If you don't move Randall, Oakley not gonna get the opportunity. So it's like kind of like pick your poison. You know what I mean? If you keep Randall and Fournier, then Reddish will not come. They ain't gonna do it. I just think that is crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, it's some things that we're gonna have to look forward for this off season because with you know with Evan Fournier, it is going to be if they can move him. I believe if they can move Evan Fournier, I believe Evan Fournier is going to go, and it's going to open up the roster because you could change the front the you you could change the point guard, the shooting guard, and the small forward up so many different ways. You could put if you move Fournier. If you move Fournier, you could even if we don't get a point guard and we start IQ, you know, we can still have IQ Grimes, IQ, RJ, and Cam Reddish in the front three. You know that could be something that could happen next year. You know, if we get Brunson, we can still have Brunson, RJ, and Reddish. You know, for the front three. You know, for the point guard, shooting guard, and small forward. So so many ways that they could, they could do uh, Brunson, Grimes, and RJ at the three. You know, there's so many things that they gotta sit back, like we're sitting here talking about it, that they gotta sit back and figure out what they're going to do. So, if we get a point guard, if I'm to me, if we're going to get a point guard, I want it to be a bigger name point guard. You know what I mean? I'm cool with Brunson, but if I had the option to get Brogdon, or if I had an option to get SGA, or Murray,
different story.
Mitchell,
Yeah,
Mitchell and all these other names, I think I would probably, if we can't get those guys, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing IQ starting next year as a point guard his first time. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Knowing that if we start him, we have either, it depends on who they're gonna have. If RJ is gonna be two, and if we get rid of Evan Fournier, Evan Fournier is the big thing. It's the it's the big thing right now. Evan Fournier, what I mean, that is the big name that we have to look into trying to move. I believe.
yep, yeah, exactly. Because for me, my thing is you move Randall and Obi out, Randall and Fournier out, Cam Reddish and Obi in. You bring in another point guard, like you said, Devontae Murray, who matched that timeline, and Mitchell Robinson. You got one of the best defense teams in the league. You got all athletic young cats who can shoot the ball, and they all can defend. All of them. You know what I mean? So if you get Devontae Murray, Quentin Grimes, Cam Reddish, Obi Toppin, RJ Barrett, and you can even throw Cam. It's just like you got a lot of athleticism and defenders, man.
Facts.
And that's what we lacking. We lacking athletic defenders. You know what I mean? Last year we had guys who would defend with the best of them. That's why we were up in the high echelon in the NBA. You know what I mean? I think I'm on like that. I like that young youth movement, and it's showing to me. So yeah, only reason I say Brunson because I think he's the most logical guy.
Right.
I would take SGA, Donovan Mitchell, all of them over him. But I
Of
think
course.
I think he's the most logical guy we probably can get if we're going to get a point guard this season. But if not, man, I just hope that we roll back with this team. Deuce McBride and Obi Toppin get to play. That's what I'm worried about, Shaw Powell. If we bring back all these guys, I do think that Reddish going to wind up coming off the bench, might not get his burn. If McBride, if you bring back Derrick Rose, McBride ain't going to get his burn. And then then what happens with the Quickly and Grimes because now they're going to have to compete for the two. And then what happens to Obi? It's like all this stuff because we brought back these cats who can go somewhere else and let these guys play together for 5 years. Let Deuce McBride, Quickly, Grimes, Obi, Mitch, Cam Reddish, let all the guys play for the next 5 years, man, 4 years together. By the time they get in that second year, third year, all they gotta do is bring in one dude or two guys to get them over the top because they be done have this shit popping for the maturation of for next year. You go into there with these young guys, and the year after that, they are already in the playoffs. Now they're ready to go to that next step. That's when you bring in that player that's going to take them over the top. You know what I mean? Whether it's a Cat or whether it's a Donovan Mitchell or whatever. But it's interesting, man. We've got a lot of interesting scenarios here, but I want the youth development to keep going. I think they're good enough to get to the playoff next year. I think the youth that the Knicks got can get to the playoffs next year. I think they that decent, you know what I mean, with a couple of more pieces. Yeah, absolutely. He is a two, man, and that's why I said it's important that we get a legit point guard there. Tim said 1 IQ, roll 2 Grimes and Deuce, 3 RJ and Burke.
I hear you, Tim.
Yup, Mitchell Sim. I'm with that. That's what I'm talking about right there. If you have to keep Rose, then that makes sense. Like you said, Rose and quickly and Rose, Grimes and Deuce, RJ and Burks, Obi and Cam, Mitch and Sims. I'm with that all day, every day.
I'm with that.
Yes, sir, brother. That's the direction the Knicks should be going.
Facts.
Because all of them contracts they all cheap contracts. You know what I mean?
And
the way you get to send RJ and Cam.
And that team that you put there together can grow together.
Yes.
All those guys can grow together, man. IQ, Grime, Deuce, RJ, Burks, they can grow together. And you still sprinkle in a little bit of the veteran leadership with Burks and D Rose. I'm not objecting to that lineup either, Tim.
Absolutely. That was a good one. And the reason why I like that, check it out. Defend, semi-defend. Both of these cats could defend. Obi getting better at it. He could defend, and both of them could defend. But check it out. He can shoot the three. 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 He getting better at shooting the three. And these cats can play defense with the best. So that's solid. That you talk about two. That's a two-way team right there. Both sides of the ball. IQ played D much better than he did. He can shoot the ball. Rose plays D. His three ball been good the last couple of years.
The only thing about that the way that Tim put it out there, we would have to move off of Randall and Fournier.
I'm saying, man, just move on for that, man.
Don't get me wrong. I'm 100% down with that. With Obi and Cam as being our 4, I'm 100% down with that. I'm 100% down with that. But now we kick it. We have to find a suitor for Randall, and we had to find a suitor for Fournier. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know what I mean? So to in order to keep those guys, and it could probably, if we move off of Fournier and Randall, we'll still be able to pick up a couple of guys to put on the bench as well.
Yeah, check it out. 2 million, 13 million, 2 million, 1 million. It probably wind up being 25 to 30 million. That's why you got to move Fournier and Randall for RJ to get his bag. Then you got Burks at 10 million, Obi at 5 million. You give Cam Reddish between 15 and 20 if he that's why you got to move them two dudes, man. Cam Reddish and RJ money should be Fournier's and Randall's money. That should be Randall's money. That should be Fournier's money. Then Mitch get his money. Mitch, Cam, and RJ can take up $65 million. That ain't nothing. Because look, let's hypothetically say RJ wind up getting 30. Hypothetically, let's say Mitchell Robinson get 15. That's 45. Let's say, even just say hypothetically, Cam wind up getting 30. I mean, not 20. I'm going to say 20. That's only $65 million of a $121 million cap. All these caps got 2 million, 13 million, 2 million, 2 million.
We could get all of them and still have some players left over.
Yeah, right. That's where the Knicks should be going. I think that's where they should be going. I'll try to move them cats in a heartbeat, man. That way you got Grimes in them for another three years on a rookie deal. You know what I mean? You got them 3 more years on a rookie deal. You got quickly 2 more years on this rookie deal. You know what I mean? You got Sims 3 more years on this rookie deal. You know, I mean, that to me, that's a no-brainer. That's the only reason I want to go the other way. But listen, we about to get the game popping, man. So let me see. He said Cam was that May 4th said, nah, Cam at the 4, the train wreck waiting to happen. Okay, but we had figured out, but I think he should be on this team though. I think Cam Reddish is the talent, man.
Just to throw that out there too. Cam played for a couple of games this year as a New York Knick. He played four. He played coming in for Randall. He was playing the power forward
Has
position.
upper body to it.
He is 6'8", you know what I mean, and he has long arms and he could defend. You know, I mean, do I think he'll go up against some of the more elite fours in the league? I think he could. I mean, he's long and leaky. Will they blow by him or beat him down low with girth and strength? Possibly. He is a slender type of dude, but you know, the way that looked, the way the way Tim put that out there, it keeps us under the cap. And even if we don't have Reddish as the four, we can also pick up another four to back up Obi as well. So, and that could be somebody in the draft that we're looking at right now too.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. Like I said, I'm not. It's not that I don't like the players. I'm looking at it from a GM perspective, and an organization perspective. You could put the Knicks in a good situation for the next 5 years and still have cap space at the end of the day. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about to me. How can we maintain for the next 5 years? If you do what you just did right now, you know, with them cats having that minimum money, so you can go out there and get a dude in 2 years. If you think RJ and whoever and this guy got the Knicks in the second, third round, and we need a superstar to go get him to get us over the hump, you will have the money. Because of the Deuces of the world, the Grinds of the world, the Quicklies of the world, their contracts they be expiring pretty much. And either you're going to keep them and sign them, extend them, or you're just going to get rid of them. But at least you open up a lot of opportunity for the New York Knicks, man. But yo, man, real talk, good chat. Salute to everybody, man. Knicks about to get it popping in a minute, so we're going to get on up out of here for y'all guys and go get your refreshments, get whatever you need to do to get your night popping, man. Appreciate y'all coming in. I think we don't play again till... let me get it right. I think our schedule is pretty much going to be a wrap until in a couple of days. I'll let you know when that is. Right,
Thursday or Friday?
Thursday or Friday.
I'm not sure.
Knicks next game will be Thursday or Friday. Let me get it right, guys. I don't want to mislead y'all. I don't see nothing there. I think it's the second. No, matter of fact, the Knicks don't play the Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Let me hold on. Let me get it right. I don't want to misinterpret. I don't want to false advocate over here. No, they got Wednesday. The Hornets.
Oh yeah, well, how can I forget that game?
Charlotte in there Wednesday. So we'll see y'all tomorrow night, obviously with the post game, man. Tomorrow we get it popping, and but y'all enjoy the game, everybody, and y'all be safe out there. Appreciate y'all coming in. Salute to the chat. You know what it is, man. Y'all cats is all good up in there, man. Child Power, give it to me, man, before we get up out of here.
Salute to the chat. That's where it's at. Y'all give some great content out there. You open up our minds when you put these things and bring it to fruition and stuff like that. Big shout out to May 4th today for saying some great things out there today. Salute to the chat. Salute to you, Divine, as always. Let's get it.
Yeah, real talk. Salute to the chat, man. Salute to everybody. We'll appreciate y'all coming in watching. Knicks against Chicago Bulls. I'm going out on a limb. I'm going New York Knicks tonight. 115, 105. Knicks get them by 10 tonight in the Garden. They're going to slow down that prolific offense. So I'm going Knicks 115, 105 tonight. I was close last night, too.
Yeah, we all kind of close. I'm going to go more of a defensive-minded game tonight. I think we're going to have 104 to 94. I think the Knicks is going to try to shut these guys down, and I hope Mitchell Robinson grabs about 400 rebounds tonight.
right. Yes, indeed, man. Salute to everybody. D-Rob 115.92. I'm close. I got you on 105. I just think that DeRozan and Zach LaVine are scoring jokers, and Vucevic should score too. So that's why I'm kind of going high, because that's a really prolific offensive team here. But let's see if our defense can come to the forefront. I want them young guys to shut everybody down, though. Before they start getting burnt.
Yeah, send them out. Get them out quick.
Yo, salute everybody. Enjoy the game. My brother, Child Power. I'll see you tomorrow night, man. I'll hit you up later on, my brother.
You're ready. Let's get it.
Everybody, enjoy, man. Let's get it.
Let's get it.